So the first thing I want to say is that this match is more unpredictable than people give it credit for. And I know people online will say this wrestler has a 100% chance of losing, this wrestler has a 100% chance of winning, and they could be absolutely right if you use wrestling logic. But if you think about what makes this match very unique, it is the storylines going into the match, the storylines that can develop during the match, and the storylines that can happen in the aftermath of this match. I think with each participant in here, regardless if they win or lose, there is an interesting storyline they can get into after the fact. And that is why I really do love this match. So what I want to do, I want to talk about each participant in this match, what can be happening if they win or lose. And I want you guys to tell me, who do you think is going to win this match? I'm not going to do my prediction today. I'll do it in a different video. But let's start off with the first person. And it is a person that is a pleasant surprise. Kiana James. I believe everyone in the IWC, when she was in the Elimination Chamber qualifier match, I think we all agreed that she was only there to take the pin. Now, if you watched my live stream, I wanted her to win, but I didn't think she was going to do it, but she absolutely did it. And she gave us what wrestling fans love to see, something very unpredictable, something surprising, and something that is building a newer star. And after the performance she had at the Royal Rumble, where she looked amazing, it is great to see her get showcased in another PLE, and it is great for her and the SmackDown Women's Division for this to happen. So as far as storylines go, if she loses this match, which I think she has a high probability of doing so, we saw what happened backstage when Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair was talking to Kiana James and Julia, and Charlotte Flair said something very key. She told Kiana James, you're out here talking about that you want Julia to become multiple champion, then why are you in the chamber and she's not? And Kiana James said, we're not like you guys. This is a strictly business relationship, which was very telling to me. So what I think is probably going to happen, and what could be a very interesting storyline, is that Kiana James could go far in the chamber and end up losing and then realize to herself, you know what? I'm tired of trying to help someone achieve their dreams of getting multiple titles. I want to start to think about myself, and she can go into business for herself. Julia cannot like the fact that that Kiana James isn't focused on her client, and that can cause a rift between the both of them, and eventually could turn into a match between the two of them at WrestleMania. Which I think that match for the U.S. Championship could be a fantastic match, because despite of how they're being booked right now, both of them are extremely talented, and they both need to break up. We all know that we need more single women competitors on the SmackDown Women's Division, and doing that with these two talented women would be so amazing. Now, the chance of Kiana James actually winning the chamber, I think it is very low, but if they want to do something surprising, I guess they can go that route and have her face Jade Cargill to ultimately lose. Now, the reason why I don't like that is because I love what they're doing with her right now. They're starting to build her up little by little, kind of like what they're doing with Trish and Oba. I think they're doing a great job with these younger stars. So to have her get shot up all the way up to facing Jade Cargill to get destroyed at WrestleMania, even if it's an amazing match, I think that probably would be a bad idea. I think that's something you probably want to save for another PLE as opposed to Mania, because the reception of that match wouldn't be that great, because fans want to see a money match. Personally, to me, I want to see a great wrestling match regardless of who is involved, but I'm not every wrestling fan that watches WWE, and for the most part, people want to see that money match. But if they do choose Kiana James to win this match, which I doubt they will, I would not be mad at it. If she goes and have a great match against Jade, that'll be a great way to showcase Kiana James. And then maybe in losing that match, she turns around and looks at Julia and say, well, I couldn't get that title. I want your title now because I helped you get it. It's my turn to get what I want. And maybe that can turn into a match between them at maybe Clash or maybe at SummerSlam in the future. But either way, either storyline needs to build up into both of them splitting up. The next person I want to talk about is Asuka. Asuka honestly has a better chance of winning than people give her credit for. I think people look at the booking and assume that that's always what's going to determine what's happening with a particular wrestler. But if Asuka wins and faces Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, I think she can give Jade Cargill one of her best matches on the main roster as a singles competitor. I think Asuka is severely underrated. I think she doesn't give a lot of credit because of how she gets booked. But I think that would be a really good match. And if Asuka could win it at WrestleMania, that would be even better. But if she loses at WrestleMania, I don't know what you do after that. So if she wins, she got to go there and actually win the championship, and then probably build up that women's division until Bianca comes back. Maybe Bianca could take it off of Asuka. Maybe then that could set up Jade versus Bianca at SummerSlam. I really don't know. WWE, y'all figure it out. Y'all get paid for this. But if Asuka loses at the Chamber, this can make her so frustrated, and it can build up her animosity for Kairi Sane in this unfortunate abusive relationship where Kairi seems to have Stockholm syndrome. And then maybe going into Mania, they can build up something where Kairi Sane finally has the guts to stand up to an abusive Asuka. And if they can give us a match between Kairi and Asuka one-on-one at WrestleMania, despite of their booking, these are two of the best in-ring workers, and I think that match would be amazing if they give it time. Amazing. And for the people who lived, died, and breathed NXT Black and Gold, we are going to absolutely love this match. So I think either way, this could be really good for Asuka. The next person I want to point out is Raquel Rodriguez, and she won on Monday Night Raw, which I was happy about that as well. And again, they can go in two different directions with this. Number one, if she loses this match, maybe out of jealousy, she can cost Liv Morgan that title, and they could, because remember, Liv cost her the title. So unfortunately for some people, they'll have to continue the whole Judgment Day situation of them splitting up. But I think that could still be an interesting storyline if they build it into something. And Stephanie retaining it may not make a lot of people happy because they don't feel like she's really doing anything with the title, which I can kind of agree with that to some degree. But if Raquel Rodriguez wins the Chamber, faces Jade Cargill, she has to beat Jade, because if she loses for both titles, then I don't know where you go from there unless she goes after the mid-card championship. But if she does win and Liv loses her match, maybe Liv can cost Raquel Rodriguez that title in that match, and that can continue to feud. Or maybe Raquel Rodriguez, and this could be probably very unconventional, but very unpredictable. If she wins the Chamber, she can actually go and challenge Stephanie McCurry and turn it into a triple threat match. Now, the only downfall for that is it make it seem like the SmackDown title isn't sought for, is it isn't important. And to some people, the title reign of Jade Cargill isn't really helping that. So to have people win the Chamber and Rumble and avoid that would be a idea that could really hurt the title for Jade. But if they do that, and if the plan is to have Jade versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania anyways, maybe they can find a way to get Charlotte there that does not involve the Chamber or the Royal Rumble. And I know most people would think that that is a waste of a Chamber win and a waste of Royal Rumble. I would agree, but right now, I don't think they really know what they want to do with Jade. And I think if you want to go for the easy money match, you can do that with Charlotte. You can do that with Asuka. There's two opportunities. You can do that with Rhea Ripley. You can do that with so many other people. There are options there as well. And speaking of Rhea Ripley is in this match, and I think this is the person that a lot of people think she will win because she don't lose. Okay, for the most part, she really does not lose. And if she wins the match, of course, she can go face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. She's a huge star. That would be a money match for the both of them. I think if she goes there's no way that she's absolutely going to lose against Jade Cargill. So she's going to take the title off of her. I'm wondering how the reception of that is going to be. But if Rhea Ripley loses, which would kind of make more sense because she is the tag team champion, maybe that'll feed into I think they're going to have some multi-women tag match at WrestleMania involving the Bellas. So maybe that'll happen just so she can be involved in that tag match. And she's only there to give some star power to this chamber match. I can't really think of anything really interesting to do with Rhea Ripley. I feel like she's pretty much done everything. She's pretty much won almost every title so far. So I don't know where they go from here with her. But when it comes to Alexa Bliss, I think with her, she has two options as well. If she does win it and she does go face Jade Cargill, unfortunately, I think she would get destroyed. But if not, again, Charlotte Flair can cost her that title because all of this, Charlotte Flair telling Alexa that she's not upset that she didn't make it into Chamber. She's like, I don't have a problem. I'm wearing, bedazzles and stuff like that. I'm a different person. I'm okay. But we all know how Charlotte Flair is when it comes to being competitive. And she just seems like a person who's lying to herself and lying to other people. Like, we don't know that you're bothered by the fact that you're not in there. And to see Alexa Bliss wins, that could be a problem as well. And this can go back to the thing that happened at the Royal Rumble between the both of them. So Charlotte could definitely cost Alexa that title, which would suck for the Alexa Bliss fans. But to continue that storyline, probably will be pretty interesting. They already won a tag title, so I can't see what else you can really do with that. But if Alexa Bliss loses, and Charlotte Flair pretends to be like comforting to her, and Alexa starts to get very paranoid and say, "You're not really trying to comfort me. You're happy that I lost because you lost. You couldn't get a chance at the title. Now you're happy that I didn't get it, and you're trying to pretend to be my friend." And maybe that paranoia can turn Alexa heel, full heel, and then have them have a match between the both of them going into WrestleMania. And I think that could be very interesting. If they are planning for her to be a part of the Wyatt Six, maybe that can be the thing to swing her over in that direction. I'm not sure. And for Tiffany Stratton, the last person here, I don't know what you really can do with her. For her to win and go face Jade Cargill again, I think the fans are really going to reject that. I think right now, I think it's time for Tiffany Stratton to turn true heel. I think her being a heel is where she's more comfortable. I think it makes more sense for her. She can do really great in this match, and in her losing this match, maybe this can make her shift over to Monday Night Raw and be a part of that women's division. If let's say one of the women who are on Raw, like a Raquel Rodriguez or Alexa Bliss wins and goes to Mania, if the plan is for them to win the SmackDown Women's Championship, you can do the trade off and have Tiffany Stratton go over to Raw, put her in a new landscape, and make her a full heel. I think she works better as a heel. The babyface thing to me isn't really working, so I think she'll be a great dominant heel on Monday Night Raw. But that's what I'm thinking as far as the storylines going here. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think will be a better storyline for each of these women? Which storyline you think is the most interesting? And if there's a storyline that I did not mention here that you could think of, I would love to hear it in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Salute. Peace.